Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 3, Episode 37, where we watch Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I'm Aristotle Beth.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
Is this going? I'm Max.
Yeah, we're going. What
All
do you
right.
mean?
I'm Max. I'm Brent Max.
Doing it live.
I think
Straight
Annabeth won you on that one.
Yeah.
She did your shtick better.
Yeah. Good job.
I just beat him.
Nice.
All right, Harrison, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Give us the description of this thing.
Actress, singer, and entrepreneur Lindsay Lohan is expanding her business empire with the launch of Lohan Beach House in Mykonos, Greece. The exclusive seaside destination serves as the backdrop as Lindsay manages 8 American ambassadors hired to staff the club and its restaurant. Lindsay is a no-nonsense boss, and she needs her team to come together to help her bring her vision to life. That's Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club on our favorite network, MTV.
Oh, I screwed up the intro. No.
What did you say?
I said who put this on. It should be who put MTV on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this show, I'll tell you what the show is.
What's
Hit
the
me.
show, Chris?
It is Vanderpump Rules and a little bit of, what was the Mediterranean show, Max?
Below Deck.
Below Deck.
Mediterranean.
Obviously. But so it's just like 8 people working, and you follow those 8 people and the boss and a couple other people. And now there's like VIP people that will come in and out, and that's the show. Like you combine the Mediterranean show where they have like guests and stuff. It's almost exactly like the Mediterranean.
It's very
Yeah.
similar to the Mediterranean show, but with this extra sort of celebrity angle to it with Lindsay Lohan in the mix.
There's a lot going on in this show.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot happening
This
here.
is I feel like how all these shows have to start. They got to really start from like 0 to 100, like right away, or it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many characters to introduce here, and something interesting has to happen in the first episode aside from just introducing all these characters. So it's definitely moving fast.
Did something interesting happen?
Yeah, I think some interesting
I think
stuff happened.
Many interesting things.
You may have watched this with the wrong people, Chris.
I mean, like this stuff happened, but like, I don't know. Like, I'll go over what I think happened in the show, and you guys can clarify.
Okay.
So, Lindsay Lohan gets introduced, and she introduced the partner for Lindsay Lohan's club, a guy named Panos. And then they introduce all 8 people, and like they give these like little intro bits that don't really tell anything about them. And then like they get together, they come in, they go to their house that they're going to be living in, they start drinking, they go to the pool. Then Lindsay comes in.
And they're like, oh,
and,
no,
like,
I didn't expect this.
Yeah, shocking. She comes in and meets all the people, and there's some like drama associated with that meeting. And then the next day they show up to work, and one guy does a VIP host, and the other guy, everyone else tries to work at this club, and then then there's just some drama after that about who spent the most money and who made the most money. And like how good workers they were, and that's the whole show.
I mean,
That's the whole episode.
That was the show without any of the thrill of
Yeah.
of the minutia and the
We're getting to the
outfits.
minutia,
I
but
know.
like that this is like we got to go over the beats.
Sure.
Yeah.
No. That was a good structural rundown.
I know in most episodes you don't have to do all this intro, right? So you don't have to intro
Yeah.
8 people. That's like a good 20, 30 minutes of the show. It's just introing all these people.
Honestly, they did a pretty okay job introing like maybe 4 or 5 of the VIP people or the VIP hosts. And then there's a bunch of them that we have not seen on screen at all.
Yeah, I mean, if one of these shows, you just got to do one episode. Like you get some people that are really on, and then the next episode you kind of focus on other people.
Sure.
Because it's just like there's just too many people. You really don't want to do such a shallow job on everyone. You'd rather do like a little deep job,
A deep dive.
a little deeper
That's
on a
fair.
couple people, and then go deeper on other people on other episodes.
I'm actually kind of surprised that in the description that it's only 8 people. I felt like there were so many more
Can
than
we
that.
scroll down?
somehow.
Is it actually 8?
I
Alright.
thought they just looked like there were so many of them.
Hold on.
So you got Lindsay Lohan and her like first in command Panos Spensos, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
There's 10 people plus the 2 bosses on this website right now.
The description lied, or 2 people are immediately getting fired.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That could totally happen.
Yeah. So Panos is this boss. This is no nonsense guy. He's just wearing crazy outfits every time we see him.
He has incredible outfits
The
the whole
best.
show.
Panos, or should we say Thanos? Can we keep this going? He takes no shit.
Yeah. Does he? I mean, he's just being bitchy, I think, to be bitchy.
Right.
Like-
No, he loves it.
Yeah, he's like the creative director for Lohan Beach House or something like that. Like, which is one of the interesting parts about the show is like the 2 people from Lohan's Beach Club that we know about. Obviously, Lindsay Lohan, who's just the owner of it, and then we have this Panos guy who is the creative director. But like this Panos guy acts like he's basically the general manager of this particular club, and I don't know if that's what his usual job is or if he's just kind of there dealing with this because there's this reality show happening. I don't really know.
She refers to him as her partner
It's
a
her
lot.
business
partner.
partner.
Yeah, so I
Like-
feel like he's pretty up there.
Yeah. I'm just not sure if he's the one who's like running the floor. Like
he's definitely
doing.
he's the one running the club.
You think
Lindsay has
You
nothing.
think he's
to
running
do
the club?
with it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel like he's a level up from
Oh.
that though, because like there are multiple Lohan's beach clubs. Like there's one at like there's multiple of these, and I think that he kind of manages the creative vision for all of them, and then probably other people run these clubs, but he's just in the mix because he wants to be on TV.
I think I would agree with that. I don't think he's like.
I don't know. I can't.
I
There's
don't
no
think
way
he's
I
the
could tell
only
you.
guy out there.
Exactly.
Who knows?
I don't really care either, so I'm not going to argue.
I also like when the show started, I really thought this was going to be about like the launch of this new club that they have and like the whole thing starting up, but like the show basically starts in these new VIP like host people just walk into a fully functional club. Like the club is running fine, it is busy, people are drinking everywhere.
Yeah, they're like it's packed every day, and we're like, what?
Oh,
they're clearly doing fine without these 10 VIP hosts. So it was just kind of a weird way to come into it, I think.
And their job descriptions are pretty weird. Like I'm not sure they're actually contributing anything to like how much this place is pulling in money wise.
yeah. I think one of the early scenes is Lindsay and Panos going over these like pseudo resumes of everyone that's going to be on the show, and it's sort of set up as if they're choosing who's going to be on, but obviously all these people are already in.
Yeah, they didn't go over like, hey, this is somebody. Oh, he's not on the show.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, oh, all these people are on the show, and that's how they introed. I hate MTV's been doing this a lot, where they're like, let's set up this thing that we already know the results to, but we're faking the setup for no reason.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I get it as like a way to introduce these characters, but it was a really weird
It
premise.
was weird because like Panos was like, I don't like him. He's on the show.
He's
Like what?
I think the first one of these we saw is a guy who says like, yeah, I'm a bartender and I'm good at what I do. And then he takes off his shirt and there's a bunch of shirtless pics and there's no pictures of him bartending or anything. It's just
No.
wild.
This is just like an interesting job to think about that I guess I haven't really thought about a lot. Is just their job is just to flirt with people and get them to buy drinks.
Like they're effectively the salespeople on the floor of the club. Like they're not serving drinks. They're not doing anything. They're the salespeople on the floor of the club. They're selling cabanas. They're selling bottles. They're trying to get people to drink. Like they're.
I always thought I didn't realize this was like its own job though. I thought the people who did this were also like servers. I thought this
Yeah.
was like I'm surprised that they don't actually serve anything.
I think they might also be doing that. I don't know. I have no
They're
idea.
definitely serving the VIP people,
Yeah,
like
only
the bottles and
VIP.
stuff. But yeah, they're not like they don't. So I mean, we get further into the minutia. Like the bartenders, I didn't see bartend in this fucking episode. Like you
Well,
have
they're
there's like
not-
4
Like,
bartenders,
these guys aren't working as bartenders on this show though.
but that's what
No.
they said they were when they introed them. They're
well,
like,
that's their background on their resume. Like they've done that before, but that's not this job.
Yeah.
what is this job?
It's
VIP host. It was a host.
Yeah. There's one VIP. So there was one VIP. There was one person in charge of making sure the like hang out with a VIP person.
Right, but I think all the other ones are supposed to just be like roaming around, like selling bottles and cabanas.
Everyone.
These people are definitely all just hosts. They're just salespeople on the floor trying to move cabanas and alcohol. Like,
Why do they need 8 of them?
It's a big beach. Did you see that beach?
I said like occupancy 3,000s.
Yeah, I don't really have a good handle on how big that place is.
Well, and here's the other thing is if when one big VIP comes in, as they did this episode, and then that locks down one of these people all day, like there might be one time where we have 8 VIPs come in, and all these people need to be sort of slaves.
And like
We'll get to that.
I think that. Yeah, oh my!
But
yeah.
back to that later.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I think that like part of the job and part of like trying to sell this alcohol to these people is that like you convince them to buy the bottle, and part of the premise of getting them to buy the bottle is that you're gonna hang out with them and chat with them while they drink it. Like that's kind of like what that part of the job is, I think.
And that you're drinking it too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
you're hanging out and drinking together. It's basically like you're getting somebody to hang out with and talk with, and
It's
then
so weird.
if you buy stuff from them, is kind of what it is.
So it's like an escort business.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of. It's like a little temporary escort at the club, I think.
I mean, what's a permanent escort?
Well, I don't know.
All right, so I'm going to back it up 1 second here. So like Lindsay Lohan's beach house. Is that what it's called? Or
Yes.
is it-
Yeah.
So like,
It says Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club on here, but I think that the actual name of the place is Lohan's Beach House.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So it's
So,
kind of
like,
confusing.
this is just a day club. Let's clarify.
day
They're
club.
just throwing. What is the definition of this day club? Is it just have a DJ and everyone's just there dancing and drinking?
drinking,
Day club's,
beaching.
day club's a club during the day. It's
Like Chris.
This doesn't seem like there's no like dance floor. There's just people hanging out on the beach with a DJ.
That was
And then
something,
all
yeah.
of these people just walking around trying to sell you drinks. Like, it doesn't seem like the typical like club kind of atmosphere. Or even like you go to Vegas, there's like a pool club. It's like there's still like one general big area everyone's in. 'Cause
yeah.
This is just like a whole bunch of little areas everyone is in.
It's weird that there's no dance floor because they do talk about like trying to get people up and dancing, but just like at their like little beach chair.
Yeah, like that's what
In
I'm
the
confused
ocean?
about.
I do wish that there was like something like some kind of a tee up at the beginning. It's like, here's the floor plan of this club. Here's all the different parts. Like here's kind of how this works and what happens in all the different areas. Just as like a
Yeah.
level set, on, like
Yeah.
what's happening. Because I agree, it's hard to tell.
I'm not convinced that this is like a top tier beach club. Like, there's probably other ones that are like, those Vegas pool parties and stuff. This like, there were people there, but it didn't look like it was, happening.
Well, one thing I wonder too is, I mean, we've only seen this one episode which covers like one day at the club and like a half of the next day. Like, I wonder if part of the draw of this one, like, is Lindsay there all the time? Because in this short time, like, she has been on the beach all the time hanging out.
I don't think she's
I
there.
think she's
wonder-
there for the show.
I wonder if she's there all summer and that's just like part of the reason people come. Like, who is she hanging out with?
Also,
Was she with buddies?
Is this summer? They said something about the weird seasons.
Well, they basically said that like that all these people were here for the summer to work at the beach club. Like somebody said that at some point. But I definitely agree with you that like Lindsay and potentially her being there and like her celebrity is definitely part of the draw of the club, or else she wouldn't have named it after herself. I mean, I think that's definitely probably like, oh, if we go, maybe oh, you think Lindsay's hanging out today? Should we go and check it out? Like,
sure.
it's got to be part of it.
I mean, the people on the show were excited to meet Lindsay. So I'm sure there's other people that are excited to meet her.
Like I don't know how popular Lindsay Lohan is in Mykonos, but
I don't know, man.
yeah.
yeah.
We did have a nickname for this beach house too. Max,
Lindsay
you wanna,
Lohan's butt house. There's so much butt in this show. There's a lot of like close-up shots of butts going in the water, butts getting massaged.
Slow motion butts.
Yeah. Multiple shot. They showed the same shot multiple times. It just butt.
Butt.
Lindsay's butt.
All sorts of butt.
Everyone's butt.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about Lindsay for a second. Now that you
Okay.
brought
Oh,
Lindsay up,
Yeah.
her. I don't know if it's her makeup, just her makeup, or it's the
Ugh.
plastic surgery, but she looks fucking weird.
I think it must be makeup because there's some shots, some scenes where she looks like the sort of normal Lindsay Lohan that I've seen before. And there's some shots where she just looks strange. Like
I don't think there's a single shot I thought she looked normal.
really, there were definitely times where I thought she looked more normal.
There's a lot of bloom in her like interview shots. Like they're all edited super weird.
There's like some crazy filter on those. Yeah, it's very strange. But her makeup
it's
is
probably
bonkers.
A combo.
Yeah.
It's got to be a combo of just like weird facial restructure that just makes it look kind of weird. And then
I don't know. I agree with Harrison, though. I think there are some times that she looks pretty normal. And then a lot of times where she looks totally weird.
I mean, like from what I hear, like she was a pretty big partier for a long time. Like that can be a little bit hard on you too. Like I don't know if that's part of it, but
Sure.
I mean, we've definitely seen bad photos of Lindsay, like where she's
sure.
way worse than what she is in this.
Well, while we're talking about Lindsay, can we also mention this crazy story that like I feel like they didn't even go deep enough into
The
about
backstory?
sort of the back. Yeah, well, there were a few backstory tidbits from Lindsay, but one is about how I don't think I ever heard about this, but like an ex-boyfriend hit her on a beach, perhaps this beach, and she decided to reclaim the beach by turning it into a club.
That's the ultimate revenge.
Which is a crazy story.
Well, it was basically like, you know, she spent like a lot of time in Mykonos. It was a place that she loved, and she felt like, you know, her boyfriend beating her on this beach could kind of taken that away from her. So she's trying to reclaim like that happy place that she had.
She's trying to make it safe.
Yeah, trying to make
Multiple
it safe for
times.
everyone.
Yeah, she talks about safety a lot, which is really scary.
It was in like the opening like role of like, hey, this is my beach house, and most of all, it's safe. And I was like, that's a very weird thing to say, but I get it.
I get it after the backstory, but like there's nothing in this show that makes it safe. Like there's nothing that like, hey, Brent, when you're out there looking, make sure everyone's like safe.
Yeah,
like,
watch out
make
for these
sure
girls.
no one is like doing something that would like lead to like some sort of date rape or something. Like there's no like protections.
At no
point at all
Not
in
at
the
all.
show.
At no point was anyone instructed to care about anything but money. It was just,
Oh,
I'm
sure.
all about the money. I don't care how you get it. Just get that money.
Yep.
Well, and this is another kind of interesting thing about this club is a lot of times when Lindsay's talking to these people, she's like, I've chosen you to represent my brand, and this is all about like our identity and our brand. But like we don't really talk about what her brand is or like what her vision is.
It's true.
It's just like this sort of vague. Like,
Yeah, our vision
What
is
does she
for
want?
you to make me money.
it's money. It's definitely just money and butts.
Oh
That
my
is so
gosh.
true. Like they definitely never mentioned what. Like okay, so let's get over this little drama with Lindsay and Gabby. So Gabby is a person they introduced. She's 22. She's got blue hair. She's a waitress, I think. I wrote it down.
She likes to gab a lot.
Yeah. She's a VIP waitress supposedly before. Now she's here, and we talked about how they went to dinner. They got drunk, and they were hanging out at this pool, and Lindsay shows up. So this is one-on-one group conversation, and Gabby's there, and there's just like she's like everyone's in kind of their bra and panties and like underwear in this pool. They have to get out and talk to Lindsay, and Gabby's just. I forget where I was going with this, to be honest with you.
Just this. Well, it's crazy because at first I think my impression was like, oh, Gabby's just trying to show off a good impression because she just starts bragging about herself. But then like all these other people try to speak, and Gabby just keeps kind of cutting in, and she's like, oh, also I'm majoring in biology.
She said that like 3 times. It was very weird.
She wants people to know that she's smart and she's majoring in biology.
Well, I do remember what I was going to say. I was going to say that like Lindsay says, why are you here? And Gabby answers like, well, I see it as a stepping stone into like something that I want to do. And Lindsay's like, no, I need you to be here to be an ambassador for me. And I was like, no one is fucking here for that.
Obviously.
They're
Yeah.
here to like do a job or like
Get on TV.
get on TV or do something. They're not here to be your ambassador. I'm sorry, Lindsay. That's just not how humans work.
When she chooses somebody to pick on and say, "Why are you here?" There's no right answer to that. You're not getting out of that.
Yeah. There's definitely not a good answer.
There are better answers
There are
though
many
than
better
Yeah,
answers
yeah.
than
Yeah, that was not the
Then-
right answer
then
for sure.
I am here for myself. I'm here selfishly, like to use this as a
say,
stepping
like-
stone to become an Instagram influencer.
I'm here to
Like,
challenge myself or something.
I'm here
Yeah,
to
it's like-
bang people.
It's like I'm here. It's like I'm here to learn, and like there's a lot of things you can say.
So the process here with these people was MTV picked these people and just like forced like Lindsay and Panos to accept them.
I don't know. I feel
Like,
like,
did they actually?
They probably had.
Did they have any say in the hiring of these 10 or 8 people?
I would
knows?
bet that MTV took the first whack at it. They get a ton of applications for something like this. Maybe they narrow it down to like 50. Then they sit down for a couple hours and go through it. Like I don't know, maybe something like that. I have to think that they had some amount of input on who goes on this show.
Right. I guess I'm just thinking about Gabby's interview with whoever and her answer to that question.
I don't think Lindsay or Panos had like a conversation with these people.
Well, I think that Well, yeah. I
don't think so either.
I agree with that. And I also think it is possible that they could have been involved in the decision and not entirely picked them based on whether or not they think they're going to be good employees, but whether or not it's going to make a good reality show. So
right.
Yeah. Is this an MTV produced show, or is this like some production house selling this show to MTV? Like, is Lindsay Lohan like more involved than we think?
No, this is very strongly MTV, and I can tell you exactly why. All the MTV produced shows have this shitty music you've never heard of, and you see a little crawl on the bottom that says, "Hey, this is this music by this person."
I
Their
did,
signature.
I mean, that's definitely true. I did notice that Lindsay Lohan in the credits was listed as an executive producer.
Well, her
I didn't
name's
see
on
what
it.
else. Yeah.
I don't think your name can be on it when you're not an executive producer.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question.
You're automatically an executive producer when your name's on it.
Here's a question though about these 10 or 8 people. Can she fire them?
Absolutely.
100%.
Right? She definitely can, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I mean,
MTV's not like locking her into having these people.
She described herself as a boss bitch.
But then she also said she's sensitive and she wants Panos to be the boss bitch.
They're
So
getting
he's the
conflicting
bitch
reports.
to her boss bitch in a way.
And he loves being ruthless
Yeah.
and wearing hats.
Yeah, all sorts of weird stuff.
So many hats.
So when we're looking at these 10 people, I wrote down everyone they introduced, and the first person on here, Alex, not introduced.
Who is he?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Do you think maybe, here's a theory, maybe 2 of the 8 are going to get fired and Alex is going to replace one?
Entirely possible.
But the other 9 were introduced. I wrote their names down.
Oh, all 9 were?
Yeah. So we got Brent, Jules, Mike, Sarah, Aristotle, Billy, Gabby, Juanita, and May.
Okay.
Who knows?
it's certainly possible that Alex was there, but
It's possible because I wrote
He
down
looks the
Mike
same.
later, so I don't think so, but it's possible. I definitely could have missed him.
So when Lindsay has her little like powwow with all these people just to like get to know them, supposedly, she judges a lot on first impression. Somebody says like, "Yeah, I'm out here to find myself," and she says like, Lindsay Lohan asks, "Are you a Buddhist?" And the girl says no,
She's like-
and
she's
she
like,
says, "You sound like it.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch you closely because you're religious."
Yeah.
And the girl says,
My
I'm
fam-
not.
Well, she said,
My family
she
is.
said, I want to spread my wings and fly. And then Lindsay asks, "Are you Buddhist?" That sounds as Buddhist. She's like, "No."
It's crazy. That was wild.
So we're talking about these people. Like, we can't talk about a lot of these people because we don't really know them. But Brent is like prominently featured in this.
Pure
episode.
savage.
Brent.
Oh yeah.
Was
Is he looking for?
We gotta talk about Brent.
Was
Yeah.
Brent the one who's looking for Bae, and then hates on blonde girls?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that was Brent.
Brent is the one that sleeps with all the waitresses
And that's why he got fired.
He got fired because he slept with
Yeah.
the waitresses.
We gotta talk about the VIP and Brent.
Oh, Brent.
All right.
Well, hold on. His parents describe Brent as 100. He goes 100.
Just a really parent thing to say.
It's just like,
All parents say
just
this.
such a weird thing to describe himself as. Did he say that during when he was talking to Lindsay?
No, I think that was a confessional.
Was that a confessional?
I think so.
Did he go swimming with everyone?
No, he did not go swimming because he stayed at the dinner table to hit on that girl.
Who was the girl he was hitting on?
He likes the girl
one of
with
the bottom
the
row.
blonde streaks.
The
Sarah.
Pakistani girl. Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't like blondes. He likes darker ladies.
Right.
All right. Yes, Brent is the one in charge of the VIP that comes to the club the one day we see.
Yeah, so he was like a host already himself, like in Vegas at some club, I think, and he's basically talking a big game. So they're just like, all right, first day out of the gate, we're giving you the only VIP. You got to do a good job, kind of thing.
He was a VIP host.
Yeah,
In walks Natasha from Dubai.
Natasha.
some kind of model, I think they said.
I don't know. I didn't.
Unclear.
I didn't get what she was.
Seemed like a
She had a
model.
lot of money, is what I got.
Described as a jet setter, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe just some famous socialite.
Yeah, could be.
So they get in this cabana and they're just drinking. They're like having a good time, and they're just talking back and forth. They're flirting, and at some point, Natasha's like, "He's real hot. We got to go swimming." But neither of us have bathing suits. And I really thought about that second. They were just going to go in like underwear like we already saw. But no, they go across the street and they're going to buy bathing suits. And like, there's some real handsy stuff happening here.
Oh yeah,
It is out of control. Also, why didn't she bring a bathing suit? Someone brought up. Very good point.
Yeah, you're coming to
beach
the
club.
beach club. To be fair, if you don't want to go in the ocean, which there's no pool. There's just like you're hanging out in this cabana. Maybe you're just thinking you're gonna relax. Who knows? You don't know if you're gonna be escorted by this really hot guy when you show up.
Well, that's another thing. She came alone. Did she call ahead and was she like, "Can you assign me a hot boy?"
probably.
Hot boy.
Probably, right?
The hot boy.
So it seems like, yeah.
I don't
very
know.
weird.
Is this what normally happens at this club without these 10 other is there just like a whole bunch of people in Mykonos that got laid off for these people?
I mean, it's definitely possible. I'm not sure. Like, maybe this is more of a seasonal business. Like, I don't know if it's like a summer only kind of thing. I think that
It is.
I think that the Greek islands kind of shut down a little bit in the winter.
I Googled their website. They said we're closed for the winter season.
Okay, so maybe not.
Were you trying to arrange some kind of
Obviously.
quick jaunt?
He needs a VIP host.
Yeah.
A Brent? Okay, back to Brent.
So like
Bring us back.
at some point Brent is like sorry, she's like loves Brent and she's like, I gotta get these microphones out of here while we're trying these things on. And Brent asks, where's his microphone at? She's like, oh, it's in my ass, is what she says.
Which I take to mean that like the wireless pack from
Yeah.
like a lapel mic was in like her shorts, like in her bikini bottom or something like that.
No, I take it literally as
right.
she wants him to go find and get it.
I mean, that's definitely the implication.
Pretty fucking wild.
And then they're like making out after they get bathing suits, they go swimming, and then they're
Well, and
like,
also Lindsay's there.
Lindsay is
Lindsay's
there.
there for the swimsuit scene, and she's like,
Inexplicably.
yeah, don't know where she came from. She's sort of encouraging this behavior, and then we get back to the beach, and she's gone.
Yeah, all the management is very okay with all of this.
Really strange.
And then they get back to the beach and they make out more, and then they make out some more afterwards.
they're definitely making out a lot.
There's some questionable business practices here, I would say.
Crossing into some Showtime's Gigolos territory.
I'd say like this dude is basically a gigolo at this point.
Definitely.
Brent also ended this section by saying, they told me to give her everything she asked for. And I think I did that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We also can't not talk about Juanita after this. Juanita was somebody that was very upset and she thought this was that Brent crossed the line here with making out with Natasha.
From business to pleasure.
Business to pleasure, yes.
It's a very fine line here in the club.
Very
I
fine.
wouldn't disagree with her.
Yeah.
No, I
Like-
feel like Brent is out of line with not thinking it didn't cross a line.
Like, you cannot have employees of your business like groping, making out with the customers. It's not okay.
Not at least not at work. Like if this is a post work thing,
Yeah.
sure. Like it was like, hey, you want to leave the beach club and go back to the hotel? Okay.
Well, and maybe was it this guy at the beginning who was talking about having woken up in many celebrities' beds?
I don't think that was.
I think that
him.
was
Was
a
that
different
some other
person.
guy?
I think that was
Mike. Mike, yeah.
Yeah. That might have been
Okay.
Mike. But
Mike was not in this episode.
Anyway,
So-
clearly
Quick aside,
rampant.
Mike says he's bi. He sleeps with dudes when he's in California and sleeps with girls when he's in New Jersey.
yeah.
Man, I don't know what that says about the guys in New Jersey or the girls in LA.
And everybody at the table just nodded. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
He's bi-coastal.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, hey, there's another quick tidbit that I think we should mention that we haven't yet, which is the dress code for the employees of the beach club.
Mm-hmm.
All white.
All white, and they all show up the first day. All different kinds of white outfits. Very revealing, some of them. Very normal, some other ones. And wait, who was this? The man who made the fashion
It was
mistake.
Brent.
It was Brent, right?
Lot of
For
Brent.
sure.
Brent came in with like a wife beater with the big sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
holes, big hole sleeves. He's wearing this wife beater thing underneath a fancy blazer, and Panos is not having it at all.
I definitely think that this was more of a power play by Panos because he's like Brent has kind of been talking a big game riding high, and I think that Panos kind of had to put him in his place a little bit. So I think that he made this
Had to
he made this blazer move on him and made him change. And like Brent's whole thing is he thinks he's hot shit and he's like, whatever. So
I had to take him out to the yard,
Yeah.
show him, who's
show
the
him what's
boss,
what.
show
Show
him
him
what's
what's
what.
Oh yeah. I think that's what happened. I like it.
A similar power play making Gabby change her hair from blue to pink because the DJ's hair is blue.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
because we can't be having. It's not. It's not Avatar in here, guys.
This club has a single DJ who apparently just DJs there every single day.
Why wouldn't you?
And they're just, I don't know, maybe you want to have some other DJs.
No, I just mean if you're that DJ, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely taking that job.
Well, yeah, if you're going to be offered that job, of course, but it's just surprising that they would only have one DJ for that club.
That's true.
What time do you think a day club opens?
Day.
I don't know.
I think you
11?
open. Nah, you definitely having people out there lounging at like 7 a.m. 7 a.m.
Oh,
I guess
7?
I guess if you're selling those beach chairs, you got to
Yeah,
at
you
least
gotta
be
be
open by like 10.
Is
You
there
gotta
food?
be open.
There's a lot of drinking, but is there food?
We don't know.
We haven't
I
seen
don't think there's food.
I didn't see any food.
I doubt there's food. Which is like I feel like if you're running the situation, you have to have food.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
That's how you get people to
There's-
stay there all day and spend all
I
their money.
feel like there's got to be food.
We didn't see it, but there must be.
There's got to be food.
I can answer. Wait.
Max is
that-
entering that corner. over
That
there.
can't be wrong. That can't be right. Ignore me.
Okay.
I think
What?
it might not be. It says 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. It might be on like our time and not their time.
Oh.
They're definitely open, I think, earlier than you think they would be. Just because people are going to come try to like lounge on the beach a bit and then get some drinks,
I guess
get
a
some
7
breakfast.
a.m.
Like 7 a.m. might
is
be early.
for the beach club.
8 a.m. maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know if you start the DJ till like 10 or 11.
But you're trying to sell those beach chairs.
Yeah, you're just trying to get people on the
Sure.
beach.
Those
Alright,
And people are going to
3,000
go to the
chairs.
beach that early is really what
It-
I'm saying.
To get a cabana on the beach, the MSRP $1,500, but they'll go down to 1,000.
Holy shit!
That's what it
So
said.
is that like the cabana Natasha was in, or is that the other like mini
I
cabana
think that's.
thing?
I don't know. That might be for the mini ones. I don't know.
Because I feel like that big one's got to be worth like more than that.
That big one definitely costs
Yeah.
more than $1,000 for the day.
Maybe
With
if
that
it's-
big round bed in it?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
spendy.
maybe that's like the day of if they have one free. like $1,500 kind of a price.
Could be.
Whereas like if you're pre-buying that, then that's going to be more.
If you're reserving it.
You're reserving it for the day.
Yeah.
Is there really any minutia to go over with any other person on this show?
I mean, I thought that. So I think was it May or Sarah that was having the bad time. May was having the bad time. So I thought actually one of the more interesting scenes of the whole show is this one girl, May, kind of gets a little bit overwhelmed in the situation. And a bunch of these other hosts are kind of bossing her around, pushing her around, and she kind of gets bummed out. And Lindsay and Panos basically like pull her aside to like have a conversation, and like Lindsay seems like she's legitimately like coaching her and working with her and like trying to kind of get her through that situation, like listening to what she has to say. I was surprised to see her like that hands-on and like mentoring one of these people like that. So I thought that was like a pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was surprisingly like genuine.
Yeah, like
It seemed like a really nice interaction.
I actually found Lindsay to be like pretty genuine in a lot of the cases. There was one situation where she was crying in one of the testimonials that I thought that she might have been acting, but I think in general it seemed like she was being pretty genuine.
It seems like when she's out and like interacting with like in the club, she seems very real. But anytime there's like this producer-esque setup, I'm just like, ugh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like the whole introing the characters, the like talking to all 8 to 10 people at once, like anything where like I feel like she wasn't in her comfort zone just felt really weird. But like the one-on-one conversations with May where she was like, yeah, I get it, you know, being emotional or whatever, it is what it is. But then there was also like that scene where like she was giving the backstory, and I'm like, oh, this is, I don't know if I buy this at all.
Which is like, I mean, it seems like those should be the scenes that are good because she's an actress, but like, and she knows how to take direction, right?
She was an
I guess
actress. I
that's
don't really
true.
know if she is one.
There are a lot of comments about how she really knows what it's like in the public eye.
Oh yeah, I mean, she does pretty much
Oh,
more
yeah.
than just about anybody else. Like,
Oh yeah.
She's also comments about how she doesn't want emotional people at her club, but she's like the most emotional person on the show. So
Hey.
like,
hey, if you're the boss, you get to be emotional. If you're on that floor, you gotta stay focused.
definitely.
Do you think it's a draw to the beach club to have all these MTV cameras wandering around?
They're probably not that big.
But it's probably
You think so?
it's probably a draw. I don't know.
Probably not.
No?
It's probably interesting.
I mean, like, I certainly know when, like, The Real World was filming in Seattle, like, people talked about, like, the bars that they were going to and stuff. And like, oh, like,
Yeah.
they're going to whatever bar. Like,
Maybe.
know.
I feel like, you know, season 2 of this, it's much more of a draw because if you get to know the people, so you'd be like, oh, that's Brent. That's a dude.
Brent.
That will be my escort. You know, like we can bang Brent. Like,
I will
yeah.
buy the tequila with Brent.
that's kind of a funny business model. Like, you make this reality show to make these people more famous, and you keep them working at the club, and then it brings more people in so they can hang out with these people.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's definitely like it seems a beneficial relationship all around. So I don't know. I don't know if I feel like depends why you're there. If you're there to like party and have fun, cameras might be a draw. If you're there to like kind of enjoy the beach, I don't think that's really what you want.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
true, for sure.
Well, I wonder what % of the people on the beach are American.
If you're going to Lohan Beach Club, I mean, let's be serious.
Oh man, you're right. Totally right.
True.
It's probably
True.
all mostly Americans, except for what do you think Lohan's like international draw is?
I don't know, man. Parent Trap was big in Greece. I heard.
Der mean Fraus.
Anyone got anything else they want to talk about? Should we go to the ratings?
Ratings.
Should we do ratings?
Yeah.
Harrison, what do you got for me? Do you want me to go first?
No.
I never go first. So if you want me to go first.
I got it.
Chris,
I got it.
No, you want to go first. I hear it.
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay, you
I
can
think
go
it's
first.
middle tier. I think
Okay.
that it's not boring.
Yeah.
So that's got it going for it. I think it has potential actually. I think that there could be a potential here, but like it definitely seems like something that I could throw on a side TV and I could give zero fucks about what's happening, but it'd
Yeah.
be like somewhat entertaining. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the middle tier because I might actually watch another episode. So just as like side content. What do you got for me, Harrison?
I think I'm actually in a pretty similar boat to you. It's gonna be a middle third show for me. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I liked it. I thought that all these VIP people these VIP hosts had some interesting personalities. I thought that we didn't spend a lot of time on Panos talking here, but like I think that I cannot undersell how weird and this weirdness that he brings to the show. That's really interesting. And then I think it's interesting getting this kind of a little bit more personal look at Lindsay Lohan. Has been kind of interesting. So I'm in middle third. I'm probably gonna watch episode 2 and see how it goes, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Middle third, top of the middle. I was pretty entertained. I think it has potential to be pretty okay. It has potential to be a hot, flaming piece of garbage.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What do you got for us, ABC?
I think it's middle. I'm not gripped by it. I'm not like dying to watch the next episode, but it was definitely entertaining. And I agree that Panos really brings that secret sauce. And I think if he weren't on this show, it would really be a bottom tier show.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work at all.
I agree.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about him as much in this recap because he really somehow held the show together.
Yeah.
We could talk more about him if you want.
I don't really even know. I have trouble describing him. Like I have trouble.
Well, he's got
this indescribable.
He has this weird fashion sense that kind of that seems to work.
It's just like a very kind of eccentric sort of fashion sense.
Yeah.
He's like sort of vicious, but also there's not a lot of bite behind it.
Yeah.
He's like he kind of has that personality of like a sort of like a fashion designer, like artist sort of vibe to him.
Some sort of smart Zoolander kind of vibe.
Yeah, because like he kind of has this like seemingly sort of like creative end to him, but then he has this kind of like hard business edge to him where he's like, no mercy, I'm doing the dirty work. I don't get emotional. He's got like, he's an interesting guy. I think
It's
he's
very strange. He also had very cool sunglasses that Chris would look really good in.
Yeah, I need to get a pair of those.
Really good sunglasses.
Those are probably like $2,000 sunglasses.
Oh yeah, there's no way those are cheap. Man,
just I think also that he was just like, when you imagine what the show is going to be, you could have never imagined him.
no, for sure.
He's an interesting, unbelievable surprise.
A complete surprise.
Max,
Yeah.
I hear you watched some sort of
Temptation Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want the update.
Hey,
Did
you
you
might have also
you
watched
also watched it?
Temptation
All right.
Island.
Nice.
How was episode 3? Has anyone fallen off? Do we have to look at the bets
Oh,
again?
A lot of
man.
people threatening to. Yeah.
I think like
Katie.
just about all these relationships are going down in flames. Like it's a real situation.
I like what's happening though. I will say I liked like episode 2 didn't seem as strong,
Yeah.
but episode 3 brought me back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a compelling show. I am all in.
We learned that Evan is also a cheater.
Okay.
Evan is
Evan is
Sunken
Sunken
Eyes
Eyes.
McGee.
Sunken Eyes.
Mr. Eyes.
You just mentioned the eyes. I can know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
All the other people, I don't know.
The
Just-
haunted skeleton.
yeah, I mean like
So he's cheated in this 8-year relationship or
Oh,
whatever?
yeah.
he
Yeah.
apparently had cheated in the past and they had theoretically moved past it, but you know, they have this aspect of the show where you know, once an episode they get to see a bunch of clips of like what's happening on the other side of things. So like she sees it like this, like Evan's girlfriend, I can't remember her name, sees this clip of Evan basically being like well, I can't remember what the exact quote was, but like basically like, well, I thought it was impossible that I was gonna find someone better than her, but like maybe it's possible on Temptation Island, and she sees that and just is like totally destroyed and just crying.
Shocking.
And she's just like, I can't believe how stupid I was to try and force him to propose to me and then force him to go on this reality show because he wouldn't propose to me. She's like, I'm just terrified that now I'm going to lose this guy that I actually want to be with because I made him come on this stupid reality show.
Shocking.
So it's like, that's
Shocking.
definitely, it's definitely happening.
The Southern guy went on a date with like a very chill girl. And he's like, oh, so this is what it's like to like not date an insane person. He doesn't say that, but like.
But when he's teeing up the reason for why he picked that girl, he is like, I picked someone laid back.
Yeah.
A little different than Katie.
Katie, in the meantime, goes on a date with a guy, and basically the only highlight of that is she asks him like, hey, if we had a kid, would you be nice to them or mean to them? And he says, nice. And she says, I don't like that.
That's odd. That's an odd one.
Yeah.
She's got babies on the mind.
Oh my God.
And not with John.
Not
Weird.
at all.
She hates
Such
John.
a weird fucking show, dude. I can't.
It's so strange.
Oh, it's good though.
I can't approve. Is Mark L. Wahlberg looking less like Chris Harrison or
No
more?
more by the day.
Oh, yeah.
He's
More.
wearing the same thing too.
Oh, my gosh.
We're getting more stories about the singles as it goes on too,
Yeah.
which is really
Okay.
good. Because on the dates, the people in the relationships will often ask like, "Why are you here?" And then they spin a little story, and that's always that's interesting.
That's definitely something that I was like, why would you be on this show? And hopefully that's something they can answer.
I mean, no one answers it well. People are like, I got out of a relationship 8 months ago, and I kind of lost myself, so I'm here.
I like to be a homewrecker. It's great.
You're like, that didn't explain anything.
So I mean, we don't have time this week, but next week, I believe the challenge, we didn't talk about the people in the challenge this season.
I'm not sure these.
I don't think that I want to be spoiled on who's going to be in the challenge this
We
season.
always talk about who's going to be on it when they announce the list. Do we? are we
Have they
not?
actually announced the cast list officially?
I thought they did.
There's actually a thing that just aired tonight that's like, the road to the challenge.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Like is that a trailer
It's, I don't know.
or like some kind of promo?
some kind of promo.
Okay.
Well, maybe let's wait to discuss the
Okay,
details of it
okay.
until
Yeah.
we can see the show. But yeah.
I mean, it premieres like what, next week, right?
Next week.
a week,
so,
a week
like-
from today. Yeah, it's on. It's actually on our pod nights now. It's on Wednesdays, so we have to figure out what we're gonna do with this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do we have
Next
to
week
move
we're
Pod
watching it
Night?
Thursday.
Do we have to watch Pod
I
TJ
don't think we have to
Lavin.
move pod night, but it's just that people are gonna be getting their challenge news a week late. So
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, I think. Because it was Survivor's also Wednesday night. All right. Anyone? We good?
We
All right.
good.
You
out.
can find us on Twitter at HoopWithUsOn. You can find us on Facebook.com/HoopWithUsOn. You can ask questions and suggestions at HoopWithUsOn@gmail.com. Please rate us on iTunes. It really helps. And we'll see you guys next time.